Kamala Harris needs to pull a rabbit out of the hat or something fantastic like that when it comes, ladies and gentlemen, to this debate. So it's happening on Tuesday. It's on ABC. We know that the president of ABC News, owned by Disney, is very good friends with Kamala Harris. In fact, Kamala wouldn't be married to Dougie Boy if it weren't for Dana over at ABC News. So great. All right. She's got friends in high places. But is she going to be able to succeed in this debate? I mean, the bottom line is she does not come across as somebody who's really grounded in policy. She wanted to have her notes there. I guess, going back to the courtroom, I got my notes. I know I can say this. I know I can say that. Instead of having committed it to memory, because I don't think she commits these things to memory. She's not immersed in it the way some of us are. So she can't do that. She wanted her notes. She's not going to get her notes. So now it's this memorization game. I'm telling you, the same people are involved in this that were involved with Joe Biden. God bless her. God help her. It's going to be a disaster. She's not even talking to people right now. Reporters are like, hey, Kamala, how's the debate prep going? She won't even answer them. This time she didn't pretend she was on a phone call. This time she just walked right on by like she can't even hear. I mean, come on. Can't you just be nice and say, hey, great, thumbs up. It's going great. Unbelievable.
How's debate prep? Madam Vice President, how is debate prep going?
So she makes it up the stairs just fine. She's got good posture, all that. But come on, just throw them a bone. Say, hey, it's great. How are you doing? Hope you have a great weekend. Something. I think she's really rattled. I think she's completely freaked out. I mean, first of all, she's going to have to stand. She can't sit. And the microphones are going to be muted, which means she will actually have to talk for a full 2 minutes. And she will have to try and make sense. And she can't use those little crutches that she uses, those little expressions that she's got, that she loves to go back to.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
Okay, so that's not going to fly. She can't say that. She can't use something. Well, she probably will try. She'll try and say, oh, I'm turning a new page. We've heard that one before. I got a few of those coming up. She keeps saying it over and over again. But here's the deal. The microphones will be muted. So she'll have her turn and he'll have his turn. And her side is not very happy about that. Ian Sams, her campaign advisor on MSNBC.
I think you mentioned the fact that the Trump campaign insisted on having the microphones muted in the debate on Tuesday night. I think that you can see that that's clearly a concentrated effort by President Trump to create a parameter to let him be more disciplined and more careful in his approach. I think people might be underestimating his ability in the debate, given the structure and format of those muted microphones. He lies so much that it's hard to fact check him in real time, whether you're a moderator or...
Really? You know what? Because I find that Kamala Harris lies so much that you can barely keep up with her fact checks in real time, right? After all, she tried to tell us that she reduced inflation, and Dana Bash just let it go. I mean, 16 minutes that we got of Kamala Harris with Timmy. I mean, she couldn't even do it on her own. Think about that. There's a reason for that, guys, because she can't. She can't sit down for an interview on her own, and now she's trying to cram for this darn debate where she's not going to have the crutch of being interrupted by one Donald Trump. I mean, this is going to be something to see. Kamala Harris trying to say, well, I'm this, that, and the other. Just look at my record. No, if we look at your record, lady, we know exactly what we're getting.
Vice President Harris, still people believe that he can handle the economy better. What would you say to them that are listening to you right now? How could you change their minds that you could do it and even better?
Well, you should look at what I've accomplished thus far.
Okay, shall we? I mean, just for fun, that was a radio interview that she did this morning. You see, they're trying to prep her. So they have her doing these softy radio interviews. She doesn't have to be on camera. She can have her notes in front of her all she wants. In fact, one of them, you can actually hear her turning the page. But that's the problem here. You know, she just wants to say, look at my record. Well, we know her record. Take a look at that. Donald Trump is out putting this graphic out because there's her record. Mortgage rate's 2.77%. Not that the president has a lot to do with that, but under Kamala, 7.75%. Then we had personal savings rate. Well, that was a little bit stimmy related, but she put some stimmy in there too, you know, and it's still down 73% when it comes to Kamala Harris. Credit card delinquencies. Hey, they were down 11%. Not bad, right, under Trump? Up 50% under Kamala Harris. And then real weekly wages. This is what really hurts. People are making less money when adjusted for inflation under Kamala Harris than they were under Donald Trump, 8.2% to negative 3.9%. So Kamala, she's got kind of a bad record. When she says, take a look at my record, hey, we'll take that all day long, right? You'll take a look at that record and you're going to see that. Not to mention, I mean, grocery prices, gas prices, electricity prices, all of this stuff is really, really hard. For her to say, hey, you know, it's Trump's fault, it's not gonna fly. I mean, he's got the facts on his side economically.
New way forward and turn the page on the last decade of what I believe has been contrary to where the spirit of our country really lies.
But the last decade, of course, the last 3.5 years has been part of your administration.
I'm talking about an era that started about a decade ago.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're supposed to buy that. It's not her fault, not her fault. Trump is the problem. And we're going to turn the page. We're going to turn the page. Remember that, guys. Turn the page. How much you want to bet you're going to hear that again and again and again? She used it there with Dana Bash in the CNN interview. And guess what? She used it again this morning in Phoenix on the radio. And you can literally hear her turning the page because she's got her notes in front of her. And the reporter asks this question. She doesn't like it. Listen.
This time to address Hispanic Americans who may be on the fence about which way to vote on November 5th.
Listen, I think that it's time to move forward and to chart a new way forward. And we need to turn the page on this Trump era. You know, this person who has talked about...
You know, vocal fry aside... That's a little pet peeve of mine. If any of you know, I have a background in classical music, specifically in opera as a singer. So when people talk like this and they fry their voice, it's really, really annoying to me. So I can't imagine having to listen to 4 years of Kamala Harris doing that. But anyway, you can hear her there in the interview. She's a little too relaxed. She's got her notes in front of her. She's got the vocal fry going. She likes to say, you know. Again, another crutch. And I don't think she's prepared. So this is going to be a gigantic flop. I mean, unless, like I said, she's able to pull a few rabbits out of that hat, I think it's going to be what seals the deal. And you're going to see a whole new thing when you look at these prediction models. Wow, what's going to happen then?